Thereafter, 14% royalty is paid. 14% royalty is paid. That should have been subtracted from 186. Thereafter, in case there is a profit at all, 33% goes into corporate tax, which comes to the government again. So if you reduce 20 coal blocks, if you reduce 14% royalty, if you reduce the corporate tax, and you reduce whatever amount could have been tapped by the auction, would have been left after the auction, there is perhaps no amount left on which one can argue that any money has been made unfairly by the private sector or has been lost to the government. This is the first important point. The second important point is there is an insinuation or an impression that we have delayed the auction, and having delayed the auction, we have allowed some people to take the benefit of the delay. We want to make it very clear, Azad Saab has far more experience than I have of parliamentary affairs, and he will tell you the amount of time taken for passing the legislation that even today has not been implemented because we are waiting for the bid documents to be prepared. The amount of time taken is perhaps almost the least time that is taken in important legislations. 2005, this idea was floated. The time has come for us to move from screening committee to an auction. 2006, consultations took place with state governments, with the law ministry, with all the line ministries, and there were objections that came from many people. Many people felt that this could be done by administrative order. Many people thought it could only be done by legislation, by amending the Coal Nationalization Act. Law Ministry finally felt that MMDR, which is the Mines and Minerals Development Regulation Act, is what had to be amended, and therefore we proposed in 2008 the proposal to amend, and the rule and the new amendment was introduced in Parliament. It went to the Standing Committee. Standing Committee examined, gave its suggestions and said you still need to take the stakeholders on board, meaning you have to talk to the state governments and satisfy the state governments before you implement this legislation and pass it. It was only in 2010 that legislation was finally passed, and it was passed after we offered to the state governments the entire bid money, the entire royalty of 14%, because the coal is in the land pertaining to the state, and only then did they come on board. So there was no delay. The question is, while these 2-3 years it takes for this kind of legislation to pass, while this time was taken, should we have stopped giving coal to cement, steel, and